We'd been in Flagstaff all week, crewing and pacing for a friend at the Cocodona 250. But with our runner safely across the finish line, it was finally my turn to race. I'd be lining up for the Flagstaff Crest 39-miler, much shorter than the distances I usually race, but that would only mean having to run that much faster. At over 7,000 feet, the course was relatively high, and as it turned out, quite hot. For me, that would mean some solid heat training, and a chance to test a higher carb fueling plan before my next goal race. And after a week of watching others push themselves to the limit, I would finally get to do the same. The race would take place in Flagstaff, a mountain city a few hours north of Phoenix. It'll start at Fort Tuthill Campground on the edge of town, heading northeast past the airport, tracing part of the Cocodona 250 before reaching the first aid station. From there, the course will swing southwest, now merging with the Sedona Canyons 125. Climbing up and over to the third aid station, the course will then cut straight through town toward the fourth and final stop. But the hardest part will still lie ahead, a long climb in the midday heat, before finally descending back into downtown Flagstaff for the finish. A total of 39 miles with just over 3,000 feet of elevation gain. The day before the race, we headed to the start to check in, before preparing my gear and drop bags. All right, so let's talk about gear and nutrition for tomorrow's race. And Adidas Terrex has outfitted me for this one. I'll be wearing their apparel, which is nice and light and breathable, which is great because tomorrow's gonna be pretty hot. I'll be using this 5-liter vest, which I've gotten quite a few miles in, 2 flasks up front. I may carry a third in the back. I haven't decided yet. I'll probably just start with it empty and see how I go. Now for shoes, I've been doing a lot of my speed work in the Agravic Speed Ultras, which are super fun. They're rockered, they're fast, and they're plated. But I think given that I'm already a little bit fatigued from all the pacing this week, and also since it is such a long run tomorrow, I think I'm actually going to go back to the Agravic 3s here that I'm wearing right now. So I'll be sacrificing a little bit of performance in favor of comfort. We are required to carry a headlamp and also to have the route loaded on a GPS enabled device. So of course I'll be using my Coros Vertex 2S as always, along with the armband for heart rate. A little bit more accurate than the wrist-based optical monitor, and I do want to collect some data from this with it being a training run. Now for nutrition, I'll be using NAC's new Boost Energy line, including the drink mix as well as the gels. These are designed for kind of shorter, more higher intensity efforts, along with a few of their other products that have some protein in them as well. NAC also sponsors the race, so there will be a little bit more available on course, but I'm gonna have some backup stuff available for myself in my drop bag just in case. So I'm gonna go leave my drop bag over at the finish line. It's mostly just gonna have spare nutrition, not much else, given that we're not too worried about weather tomorrow. Then we're gonna go out for dinner and then rest up. Race starts at 7 a.m. All set. I'll load it up.
You want to get on the front line, we encourage you to do so. 5, 4, 3, 2, run.
All right, here we go. 40 miles. You guys ready for this? Yeah.
Morning. Feels like deja vu.
Feels like Moab 240.
A micro Moab, thankfully. We're not doing this for 3 days this time. Head east toward Fort Tuthill Loop.
Nice job, runners.
Get 'em.
Nice job, runners. We'd begun to catch up with runners in the Cocodona 250, who are now on their 5th and final day of the race.
Nice work.
Nice work. Including one that I immediately recognized. Is that Wes? Wes, it's Jeff. Give me a hug. Dude.
Great to see you.
Look at you. How's it going?
It's going okay. I got some energy on my day 4.
Yeah.
So moved pretty well yesterday.
Okay.
Trying to keep moving today.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna see your finish.
Okay,
I better
good.
keep running in the meantime.
Yeah,
So
get
yeah,
out
see
here.
you, man. Go get it.
Great to see you. Good
You're
luck
doing
today.
great. You're looking good. That's West Plate. It's got a great YouTube channel. I'll link to it below. I'm sure he'll have a film coming from this race as well. Okay, 10 kilometers in. Definitely feeling the miles from pacing this week in my quads, especially on the downs, but it's the ups that are hurting the most. Feeling the altitude on the climbs. But fortunately, there's a lot of flat as well. And we're moving pretty good here. Let's see if I can keep it up.
The air is definitely a lot thinner than back in New Hampshire,
Yeah,
but the body feels great.
good.
We'll just see how it holds up.
Yeah.
All right, so it is 10 after 8 a.m. and I just came up here to the first aid station. It's a really beautiful morning, really sunny. It's already getting warm. Took a short hike up on the trail to catch some actions. I'm just waiting for the leaders to come through.
Hey.
You want that to go in?
Okay, thanks guys. Hey, nice job. Okay, through the first aid, after about an hour and 15, I've had 2 gels and a bottle of NAC, so it's about 110 grams of carbs. Feeling good. Guess we're waiting for traffic light here. Yeah. Chance to catch my breath, I guess. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. See you.
All right, so we are at the second aid station, St. Clair Wash. It's really exciting, lots of people coming through. We missed most of the leaders and we got here just in time to catch Jeff coming through. He was sitting in 10th place just before the aid station, but he left in 9th. So, I mean, it's a tight race and it's still very early, but he seems to be doing really well so far.
Okay, through the second aid station, refilled about a bottle and a half. That's around 23K, I think, 14 miles. Making progress. Good job, runner. Good job, pacer. Keep it up.
Yeah, I'm so close. Yeah.
We're getting there. I managed to take a little tumble back there. Wasn't really paying attention to where I was putting my feet. Did a bit of a roll, but I think I'm pretty much unscathed. Just a bit of blood on the hands. Hey, thanks, man.
All right, so we are at aid station number 3 at Woody Mountains. This is mile 22, so about the halfway point of this race. We're expecting Jeff in a few minutes, hopefully. He will have access to his drop bag so he can replenish some of his nutrition quickly and then be on his way to the next stop.
Thank you. Woo. How's that? Good? Nice. What t-shirt on? All right. Thank you. This way. This way. All right. Turn the road, turn left. Okay, thank you so much. Yep, good job.
Here we go. Yeah, I can do my arms. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's great. Woo! I'll wake you up. That's good. Okay.
To that road. Guys.
Okay, that aid station came at just the right time. I've got 2 new flasks from my drop bag there that I had pre-filled with NAC powder. That's the boost powder. And I got some more gels, a couple purees, and I chugged a bit of water just to catch up on my hydration. Well past the halfway point here. Let's see if I can keep this up.
All right, we just pulled up to FAC, Flagstaff Aquatic Center. This is mile 27.5 of the race. We're expecting Jeff, I don't know, maybe in 30-40 minutes here. He's making really good time. He's holding steady in 9th position. And this is actually the very last aid station. After that, they've got just under 12 miles to the finish. So yeah, we'll wait to see him here. And then afterwards, we'll make our way to the finish line so we don't miss him there. Okay, now go that way. Okay.
Oh yeah. Woo! Oh.
Anywhere else?
Yeah, my forearms, please. Yeah, that's so great. Which way do I go?
You go out that way?
Okay, thanks everyone.
Yeah, have a
Thank
great
you.
race.
Okay, through the last aid, just 18 kilometers to go, but still a good 300 meters of climbing. Oh, that ice bath felt good. I grabbed a bit more water. I chugged some as well, but I still have lots of fuel. Think I'm good. It's time to bring this home.
All right, so Jeff came right on schedule at 11:25-ish, still holding strong in 9th place. He's looking good, getting hot, but he seems to be doing really well. Only 12 miles to go, so we'll see him at the finish very soon.
Oh man, so pacing my wife, first 100 miler, 125 miler. Feeling good. Last aid station was running a little bit in the end, had some blister stuff, but pushing through. Now we're coming into the final stretch, so here we go. She's doing great.
Nice job, Suzanne. You're doing great. Nice work, runner. I had been managing pretty well with a liter of water between each aid station. Nice job, guys. But this last leg would be the longest in terms of both distance and time on feet. And I made the rookie mistake of not filling up my 3rd flask. In fact, I probably could have used at least 2 liters. Okay, less than 10 kilometers left. We're almost done the climbing. We've got just about 70 meters left, I think. But I'm running really low on water. I've been rationing for a while. And I think I'm falling behind on my eating as a result. So, running on fumes here. Wheels are starting to fall off a little bit. Let's see if we have enough to make it to the finish.
Always make me do a double take when I see one of these.
What is it, a gopher snake?
Gopher snake. It's
Okay, all right. Okay, well, I think I finally made it to the top. Just about 7.5 kilometers, all downhill to Flagstaff. We're almost there.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys. Just 3 kilometers left. Okay, less than 2 kilometers. Whew.
All right, so it is 12:30 in the afternoon, and I am on the finish line, as you can see. I think we've missed, again, the race leaders because they were here so quickly. It's fun. There's a lot of people out. There's some people from the Cocodona 125 that are still finishing as well, so there's a lot of activity right now at the finish line, which is super fun. So yeah, we should be seeing him soon here.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. That way? Are you sure? She's saying this way. Everybody's telling me different things.
Flagstaff Crest, number 814. This is Jeff Peltier.
Hi.
Congratulations, Jeff.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I feel like you're being crowned.
I haven't run that short of a race in a couple of years, actually. Wow. It's hard. Running fast is hard. Short race. Dude.
Hell yeah, man.
Awesome.
Did you just finish up too?
Like a minute ahead of you.
Dude, I'm so thankful, man. Those first like 20 miles with you and everything, saved the day. Like that unofficial pacing helped me so much.
Awesome.
I'd say like from 27 to 33 was really rough with all the climbing at that point and stuff, and you're already on tired legs. But as soon as you hit like that last uphill section and then you start the descent, it was just like cruising at that point. You know you're gonna finish there and everything. It was super exciting. Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Well, I think I executed that one well. It was really just a training run at the end of what was a pretty big week of training while pacing at the Cocodona 250. But I did want to use it as an opportunity to experiment a little bit with my pacing strategy and with a higher carb fueling approach. And speaking of which, the Boost Energy line and the gels in particular were definitely a win. The gels were really easy to get down and to digest at that higher intensity and in the heat. So I'll definitely be using those at the Badwater 135. And I was really happy with my shoe choice as well, given the distance and the sort of rockier terrain that we encountered towards the end of the race. So thank you so much to all the wonderful volunteers, and be sure to check out my episode of Time on Feet about pacing the Cocodona 250 if you haven't already, and stay tuned for my film from the Badwater 135.